The darkest places in hell are reserved for those who maintain their neutrality in times of moral crisis. Dante Alighieri. Welcome to Grimly.
All right, I will make enough effort.
Right under your chin. Your chinny chin hairs.
Okay. Found a new muscle. Reach.
Your Pilates soreness.
It's working. It feels like a blessing when I am sore, though, because I'm like, yeah, okay, got my money's worth.
Yeah, right. You're like, I'm paying for this.
I'm not sore.
I'm paying for this abuse.
Yeah, and you can't be sore every time. I think I just don't work out enough, but I feel like people who do work out are like, I don't know. Are you supposed to be, say if you're weightlifting, are you supposed to be
Sore every time?
I think not every time.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't think I'm the authority on this, though, at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think either of us are.
Anyway, so it feels like I did.
Yeah.
I did it.
I work out casually.
You know what? For your health, right?
Yeah.
Your health and your mental health.
Get comfy, cozy. In your jeans. You're wearing jeans.
I know. I thought about it. I was like, why do I want to sit on the
house?
couch with the jeans on?
I was shocked when I came over and I saw you and I was like, oh, you're wearing jeans.
A choice.
Yeah, it is a choice. Before noon on a Sunday.
I'm going to have to unbutton this button.
Yeah, that's why I usually wear stretchy pants.
Jeans are not for sitting. High-waisted jeans.
Yeah, high-waisted.
Even a low-waisted jean, I feel like.
They're not for sitting.
No.
Those are not
jeans
sitting
are for
pants.
standing.
Jeans are for standing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not sitting pants.
They're not.
No,
not for. That's why there's a whole genre of clothing.
There's like loungewear.
Loungewear, exactly.
It's my favorite type of wear. Although after a week of not wearing jeans because I work from home a lot, or not a lot, I do work from home.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I like a garbage person? I'm like, I feel a little.
No, of course not. What?
You're like, I should put pants on and go outside. Maybe I don't know. That's usually how I feel. I'm like, I need to do something.
Yeah. Well, you do things.
Yeah,
you do things.
But usually I'm wearing leggings.
That's okay. I think that's fine.
Okay.
That is modern day attire.
That's true for women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways,
welcome to Grimly. I'm Meg.
And I'm Missy, and we are two unserious people that talk about seriously creepy shit. And today is the Super Bowl.
It is the Super Bowl.
And it's actually our team.
Our local,
in it.
Our local team.
Yeah, our Seattle Seahawks.
Are we going to win?
I hope so.
Yeah, totally.
Just
I think
in
most of the country hopes we win.
I know. I think because the owners of the Patriots are Trumpers.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like it's a bit of a...
And also people just don't... And people love to hate the Patriots.
They really do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're not from
the
that
underdog
area of the world,
True.
New England, people kind of hate them.
True.
But I also respect if you are from that area and they've been your team forever and you root for them. I'm not trying
they
to...
win, so that's
they
fun.
do, yeah. But I do think there's some problematic people that are within the Patriot organization. And so everyone's kind of rooting for the Seahawks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm looking forward
Hawks.
to... it's actually been hard to be enthusiastic about the Super Bowl this year just because of the horrors
sure.
that keep occurring and no one's being held accountable and nothing's happening. And
Jesus.
It's just like,
my God.
why the fuck are we not doing anything? Do we need to get pitchforks and torches? Is that the way? Is that just how it's gonna have to be? Like, because it's crazy.
I truly have no words because... Yeah, it's all very bad.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier about the whole like Obama tweet that Trump just posted or whatever on his Truth Social. Just horrible things.
Blatantly
constantly.
Racist.
What are we
let's top it.
fucking doing? We are losing the plot over and over again. I just can't believe that people are still backing this man. We've lost the plot. We've lost the plot. Sorry.
Yep.
It's just, it's hard to be enthusiastic about a sports ball I think, because of those reasons. For me personally, I am looking forward to what Green Day does for the opening of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I also
forgot
would
about that.
to see what Bad Bunny does as well.
It's going to be great.
I do love a good halftime show.
Yeah.
Do you have one halftime show that speaks to you, that you remember, that resonates?
Not really. Maybe like Rihanna.
See, I thought that one was boring.
Well, she was pregnant.
She was pregnant, but okay, so for me, obviously I always have an opinion. I like a halftime show that has people pop in for a little moment, because I think that creates more excitement throughout the show.
Yeah.
I would say. The one that I always think
like a special guest.
Yeah, like a little when the Katy Perry had Missy Elliott come on randomly. That was random and fun.
Yeah.
Or Beyonce, I think she had Bruno Mars pop
Don't
in.
remember.
Oh, I don't know why I remember these so frequently.
It's like I do not.
The file cabinet
super random
is random up here. The one that I always remember though is there was a year, I think it was when we were in high school, which is a long time ago.
You've lost me now. Okay.
It was Aerosmith, Mary J. Blige,
That's cool.
NSYNC, Britney Spears,
Jesus.
Nelly, which is now problematic, but there was just every genre of music was represented
Wow.
in the halftime show. I was like, that one's fun.
That is fun. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be, personally. But yeah, hopefully that Bad Bunny brings in some people. I know Cardi B has done a song with him,
That's true.
and that'd be fun because
I know she would love to.
I think she would really love to.
Doesn't her boyfriend play football?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
That's not in the file cabinet. That's in your file cabinet. If between the two of us, that would be in your file cabinet.
It wouldn't stick to me which kind of athlete he was. I think it's football though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I trust your judgment.
Thanks.
I couldn't tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I think it would be funny if she popped in,
Yeah.
because people would be so pissed, I'm sure.
Yes.
Which I'm here for it. I am here for it. But yeah, it's been a weird week. I've been in my Reba era. A single mom that works 2 jobs.
Okay. I was like,
I'm watching my nephews while my sister and brother-in-law are in New Orleans. And
God, I want to go back to New Orleans.
Me
It's been a
too.
little too long.
I know. I agree. This isn't going to be a shock to you, but I would like to go during Halloween.
Jesus.
It's the place you should go for
Sure,
Halloween.
yeah.
Ireland, because that's where Halloween started. And New
Do they
Orleans.
sell it? Is it a big deal there?
Uh-huh.
I had no
it's
idea.
a huge deal there.
Oh.
I think they call it something else, though.
Oh.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's where Halloween
That's
was
probably why I don't know what it is.
started. But New Orleans is number 2,
Okay.
for sure. I also feel like it'd be a good weather season there.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, so they're in New Orleans. I've been watching my nephews, which has been great. But I keep hearing the Reba, a
song?
single mom who works 2 jobs.
Well, when you said Reba, I immediately thought of Fancy. I was like, okay, tell me more.
That's also a very, I'm unfortunately not a high class courtesan right now.
I thought she was a 12, like a child.
Like a child sex worker, yes. But she
God.
eventually becomes a high end courtesan.
Oh, she does.
In the song,
High-end
remember?
courtesan. I don't recall. I don't know.
Not in your file cabinet. But because New Orleans has been on my mind,
Okay.
this is our
Oh,
Sigu.
it's
Have we done anything in New Orleans as an episode?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, and I'm shocked by that.
How dare you? You need to step your pussy up. For fuck's sake.
I don't know. I was thinking about that on the drive over here. I'm like, I don't think we've ever done a New Orleans based story.
Oh,
Which
shame.
it truly is like one of my favorite cities, and I would love to go back. It's been like 10 years.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I sound a little hoarse today. Can you hear it? It's like I've got a throat thing.
No, I think you're just a small pony. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Ugh.
Meg's a little hungover.
I was screaming. I was shouting last night.
In a good way.
I went out.
Yeah. She's a little hungover because she was having a good
Partying.
time. Yeah, you're partying. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so in 1834, A fire at a townhouse on Royal Street in New Orleans exposed something far more disturbing than a tragic accident. What authorities and neighbors discovered inside the home of Madame Delphine LaLaurie revealed the brutal realities of slavery in America, realities that had been hidden behind wealth, status, and silence.
This is gonna be a rough episode.
Yes.
Okay.
So long
dark. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just like, I need to brace myself. I need to brace the audience. If you don't know this story, it's fucking grim.
Buckle up, baby.
Okay.
So, long before the building became the subject of ghost stories and legend, it was a place where cruelty was enabled by law and protected by social power. The story begins not with hauntings, but with history and with the system that made LaLaurie Mansion possible in the first place. So, obviously, you know the story. If you know anything about New Orleans haunted history-wise, it's a pretty big spot. When I was in New Orleans, I took a ghost tour.
Okay.
Because as you do.
I didn't, so I'd love to hear about it.
And the only thing I remember from that ghost tour was the LaLaurie Mansion. I think it was the last stop, because it usually is.
Grand finale.
Huh?
Grand finale.
Right, yeah. And the guy doing the tour, he made us cross the street and look at it from across the street. He's like, I do not go over there. That place has bad energy. That place freaks me out. It's a privately owned home now. But he's like, we don't walk on that side of the street.
Interesting.
That place has got bad juju.
Lore.
Yeah. The lore, I think also, I mean, I've heard multiple accounts and just people talk about that mansion itself, and just walking past it creeps people out. There's like a bad vibe.
Yeah.
Bad vibe. And I think this story will give you an idea of
Why. Yeah, totally.
So I will say, just off the top, this is dark. This is a darker story for us than we usually do. We are talking about American slavery, which is one of the darkest times in our country. I think slavery and how we wiped out indigenous populations are the two big ones, personally, for me. And maybe for everyone. I don't know. So just trigger warning for that. But I will also say that this story has a lot of lore and a lot of... they had a little spice to the story in certain places. This is New Orleans.
It's true.
And so I tried to do the most historically accurate representation of what we actually know happened.
Okay.
So I will get a little bit more into it later, but there is a lot of conjecture there. So just be aware, I guess. So Madame LaLaurie was born Marie Delphine McCarty. Her family originated from Ireland and came from a wealthy McCarty clan. And so both male and female McCarty family members both owned and operated real estate properties. And on a lot of those properties was also enslaved people living and working.
Okay.
So I'm giving you a deep dive into, not a deep dive, I'm giving you a dive into kind of the background of New Orleans and slavery itself and how it was established and like kind of each area in the United States before this isn't the United States at this point, but each area had different standards.
Okay.
With how people were supposed to treat their enslaved people. So New Orleans is, I don't want to call it progressive because it's not progressive because we're talking about literally owning humans, but New Orleans had more standards than other areas.
Okay.
In other colonies. From what I've read, it seems like the Carolinas was like the worst place to be an enslaved.
Okay.
Yeah, person.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But New Orleans, they had like laws and standards, and I will talk about them in place, but it's still slavery. We're still talking about humans owning humans as property, and it's fucking gross and dark. So so I'm going to give you, we're going to the beginning, for lack of a better word. So the McCarty clan moved from Ireland to France, where eventually Delphine's grandfather, Bartholomew, joined the French military before moving over to the Americas, because at this point, Louisiana territory is owned by France.
Sure. Okay.
And so he specifically moves to a colony named Plaine de la Nouvelle Orleans, which today is known as New Orleans. I probably butchered that, but we are going to move on.
Is that French?
It's French.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So when Bartholomew moved to New Orleans colony, It was owned by France, and the colony itself only had a population of 4,800 people.
Wow.
And of that 4,800 people, 3,600 were enslaved Africans.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which, if you own a plantation, it's you, your wife, maybe a couple kids, but then you own 50 plus slaves. So it's crazy to think that like that number, that ratio is like that, right?
Yes. And how, just how outnumbered the slavers were.
I know. And that was always a constant, for lack of a better word, fear.
Yeah.
Because, well, we will get into
They're
it.
like this balance of power that we have is tedious.
It's very,
precarious.
Precarious, yeah. So Bartholomew and his wife have 11 children, including Delphine's father, Louis. There's going to be a lot of Louis in this story. It's France and Spain. So kind of makes sense. So in 1769, New Orleans and Louisiana went from being under French control to Spanish control.
Wow.
Which obviously caused some turmoil and uncertainty within the colony itself. But the McCarthys welcomed the regime change and this just gained them like more favor, prestige, wealth, and influence in the colony itself because they opened their arms to the Spaniards coming in.
Okay.
So they were playing the game.
I really did not know this. That
it goes back and forth.
Yeah. Obviously, we understand the French history there, but I did not know that Spain had a stake in it either.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It seems to go back and forth a few times before the Louisiana Purchase.
Wow.
So a now adult Louis, which is going to be Delphine's father, has also married a rich widow named Marie Janine Reba. And they have a son also named Louis and a daughter named Marie Delphine, who was born on March 19th, 1787.
Okay.
To be a rich widow. God. Sorry, I had to cross my fingers. I was talking to a friend of the pod, Blake, about this the other night. I was like, God, I would love to be a rich widow. Everyone just leave me alone. Just walking halls in a long black gown.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
All
like
right,
with a candelabra, like.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Pretending to be
you were born a little bit late.
I know. Well, how dare you?
I'm sorry. We're really not doing candelabras the way they were then.
We can bring them back.
Yeah, but you need a house to go with it.
I know, but that's why I need to
We can't be walking around
Step
candelabras
one.
in our apartments, you know?
Rich widow. That's first step. And then step 2 is profit.
I think that there is a world in which we could rent a really nice house and then the gift to you is we put the robe on, we give you the candelabra, we turn the lights out, and I just leave. I'd be like, you just marching around this fucking house.
You just see me from the outside, just walking around.
She's getting her steps in.
Just let the girl work, okay? Like she's having her moment.
I don't understand it, but we support.
I am supportive. Honestly, yes.
It's possible. I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah. That if I ever get some sort of illness, that will be my make-a-wish. Do they do make-a-wish for adults? I don't know.
That is so specific and weird.
I know. But it's possible.
Bucket list item.
Bucket list item. Okay, so the McCartys built a large plantation in New Orleans by the river, but when the grandfather dies, sorry, I put just he, I'm like, wait a minute, who is he? It's the grandfather, Bartholomew. He dies unexpectedly in 1781. And his expansive estate is needed to be divided equally among his 11 children.
Oh.
So this is when Marie and Louis, Delphine's father and mother, they have grown an expansive empire and wealth in the South with Marie's indigo plantation, which I didn't know was a thing in the South.
It's a plant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the color indigo comes from some sort of root, right?
Okay.
And so now they have the estate that Louis inherits from his father's death. So they already are doing well. They have a plantation. They have an indigo farm, plantation, whatever you want to call it. They have multiple, I think, homes. It's a type of wealth we don't understand, right?
Yeah.
But now they're also inheriting,
and again,
another estate.
Wealth accumulated by, like, on the backs of other humans.
Yeah.
Because it's otherwise not possible.
Let's be real. Most of the East Coast of America was built on the backs of slaves, unfortunately. The White House. Sorry. So he inherits a large estate and some land from his father's death. So now they're doing fucking well. And these two flaunt their wealth. Marie's parents. I call her Marie. Sometimes I call her Delphine. It's Marie Delphine. I'll get to the Marie thing later.
Okay.
When she get names for her kids, because it's crazy. So Delphine's parents, they flaunt their wealth, and especially with they also have crazy and lavish parties that they would throw during, like, they would last days from what it sounds. And so all of this is being built on the backs of the humans they enslave, like we just said.
Yeah.
So during this time, the late 1700s, there has been slave revolts happening frequently. We just talked about how the ratio of, they look around, they're like, there's more of us than them, right? What are we fucking doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Delphine's uncle by marriage has actually been killed in a slave revolt in 1771.
Oh.
So prior. And then in 1971, there was another slave revolt happening in the French colony of Saint-Domingue that actually lasted 13 years. It's a long-ass revolt. And it's against the French. And Delphine grew up listening to her family talking about this slave revolt itself. And unfortunately, the slaves that were fighting in this revolt do lose after 13 years. And some horrific shit happens to them.
Jesus.
As like a...
Yeah.
So I'm just spitballing here. But my guess is that her family talked negatively about these ongoing slave revolts.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that you basically have to, quote unquote, keep your slaves in line.
Mm-hmm. And she probably grew up actually fearing them.
Probably.
Hating them and fearing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also, during this era, there's a lot of marriages happening between freed African-American women and white men because there isn't a lot of, like, white women in the area.
Oh.
The ratio, right?
Yes.
And so that's very frequent. It's very, people are very open about it, and they're, like, very accepting of it. And Delphine's father, Louis, actually does have a mistress that is an African-American woman, a freed African-American woman. And he has a kid with her. And that kid's in the will, gets part of the estate when he dies. And so there is some speculation that maybe Delphine sees all this and is also a little pissed about that too. Is more blatantly racist because of what her family's involvement.
Yeah.
With
It is
making
fucking complicated.
very complicated.
And so toxic.
Yeah. Yeah. So during the French control of the Louisiana colony, there's also laws passed in a declaration called the Code Noir. So this is passed by King Louis XIV in 1685. And this code stated multiple declarations like Jewish people not being allowed to settle in French colonies. Not good. Every
sentence just gets
I know,
worse.
It's bad. It's bad. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
And also, if a master had impregnated one of his slaves, he would be fined. And if he was unmarried, he would have to marry that slave and free her. Or if he was married, he would have to support the child. So I guess it's not good. I don't know. Like, it's like better than probably other shit that happens, but it's still not fucking good. We're still talking about owning other people, right? And that slave owners had to clothe and feed their slaves adequately and were not allowed to use extreme force on their slaves or kill their slaves or they would be fined.
Fined?
Yeah, fined. No fucking jail time. Maybe a year.
And like, yeah, okay, I can't.
Yeah.
And what price do you put on like a human life? Obviously, they have none. No, like it's so bad. But I'm like, what is the fine? Who decides the fine? I assume it's negligible. It's like,
it usually was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But
and so this is just kind of, what are you doing?
Your boy wants to get on there.
Do you want to come up? Sorry, we have the dog here again.
He's like, I'm feeling really left out all of a sudden. Good boy.
That was very gentle.
Very, very gentle. Hi, honey.
Every time
Good
he has to let his presence be known. Do you want me to move this pillow for you? There.
Sorry, there's so much shit on the couch right now.
Are you done?
Sit down, boy. Okay, what a good
There
boy.
you go. There we go,
Snuggle up.
Snuggle up and hear of the horrors, Coleman.
He's like, I need someone to hold me. This is terrifying. This is horrific.
He's like, you're my emotional support animal, and this is bad.
Yes. He's like, Mom, I think you need a cuddle.
He's
for
like,
this.
are you okay? I've been listening to this shit you've been talking about all fucking week.
Oh no.
Obviously for research.
Yes.
He's like, damn, dude, we need to stop. Okay, so yeah, so it's maybe a fine. Sorry.
So cute.
We're not laughing about the fines. We're laughing at my dog being
Yawn.
yeah,
a
the
cute
little
puppy
tiny
yawn.
little yawn he has. You're a good boy. Thank you. I love you so much. Okay. However, under Spanish rule, enslaved people were given more autonomy.
Okay.
For lack of a better word, I can't think of a better word than autonomy because they're still enslaved.
Go on.
So this includes an enslaved person being able to outsource their skills to other farms or plantations to earn their own money.
Okay. When do you have time
Great fucking question.
to do that? When do you have the, like, how are you getting around from place to place?
There isn't like a union where they get like weekends off
no
or
bus
something.
to pick you up and take you.
But they can do that.
Okay.
And that enslaved families were also not allowed to be forced to be separated.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so they often would sometimes,
so awful.
So it's all fucking awful. Like, we really don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
And like,
We
now
really don't.
We also are seeing this current administration trying to erase it and act like it wasn't a big deal.
Jesus.
Like, even I've seen so many like conservative fucking weirdo grifter influencers talking about like, oh, there were some slaves that liked being slaves. Like, trying to manipulate history.
Meme, and it's like somebody holding a cinder block over their head, and it's "Don't worry, I got it." That's the meme that just popped into my head for some kind of dumbass fucking comment like that.
It's so fucking bad. I don't know where we lost the plot. Okay. So I want to give some context to the background of the history of slavery in Louisiana colony itself, because the standards of owning an enslaved person does vary region to region. And to be clear, the standard set by the French and the Spaniards is still not good, because we were talking about owning another human being and forcing them into labor.
Yes.
So Louisiana has more standards of how to treat their slaves as opposed to different American colonies. I said the Carolinas was probably the worst.
Believable. I believe
Yes,
that.
and that's during the time that Delphine would be growing up. So she's growing up on a plantation around enslaved humans, knowing that eventually these people are going to be her property, right? Mm-hmm. It's part of it.
God,
and
gross.
yeah, and she also is seeing just like the weird like relationships that some people are having with African American women. It's probably a very weird, confusing time. But there's nothing in her history that would, like, you talk about like serial killers. I probably would maybe categorize her as a serial killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
We talk about Bundy, Dahmer, all these people that you talk about their past and they're like, oh, this fucked up shit happened. And this kind of, it's not an explanation of like why they did what they did, but it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing really in Delphine's childhood that would make her do the things that she did, if that makes sense. She's never like abused or any of that stuff. She just grew up in an average home for this time. She grew up wealthy, but she grew up on a plantation that so many other people did. And I think there's also this thing about kind of Southern women, like they were never looked at as cruel. And I think these women were probably some of the cruelest people to their slaves, because they were the ones running the home. Mm-hmm. That was their whole thing. Like they ran the home. They kept everything in order, and they probably used a lot of force, and that just really isn't ever talked about.
Yeah.
Not saying that like there weren't, obviously some of the men were probably just as horrific, but I think like the women,
we don't give the women enough credit for being monsters at that time.
Maybe, credit's not the right word, but maybe enough acknowledgement that like they were also pretty fucking bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So it makes what she became famous for or infamous for more disturbing, I would say. So let's get into her early life. In 1800, Marie Delphine marries her first husband, Ramon. And 35-year-old widower Ramon de Lopez de Angulo was a Spanish colonial officer and served as a high-ranking officer as well. Sorry, a Spanish colonial official and served as a high-ranking officer as well. And this included acting as a consul general for Spain in Louisiana during one of the Spanish colonial periods. Because I remember I said they go back and forth. So he's 35, I don't know if you remember. She's born in 1787. This is 1800. She was 13 when she marries this guy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, that could be considered a problem. That's a trauma.
Yeah. I guess
that it was normal
that is a
at the
trauma.
time, but
I think
add that to
generally,
the possible
usually
list.
16 was when girls got married.
A 35-year-old man.
Yeah. Who had already had a
She's
wife that
13.
died.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Weird times. That's a child.
That's a child.
Ugh.
And it seems like he came to Louisiana colony. The McCartys opened their home to him, and he was staying with the McCartys. And like Marie Delphine was said to be very beautiful. She had like dark hair.
She's 13.
I know.
Fucking child.
Look
They're
at
like, yeah, go ahead, take her. That is so disturbing.
I know, but then
Fuck this place.
We look at now with fucking
Yeah.
Epstein. It's like the fucking tiger has not changed its stripes. We just continue to act like that's whatever.
Right. We think we've gotten a little better, but yeah.
We've gotten a little better, but
A
some
little
people are just acting like it is a conspiracy theory now. It's insane. Okay, anyways. So Ramon, he basically comes to the McCartney home. He is hanging out with them, sees Marie. It's never really clear if they like fall in love. I don't know if you like a child can't consent, right? But he evidently wrote back to Spain asking for permission to marry her. He marries her without getting confirmation that they're okay with it.
Okay.
And then it comes back. They're like, actually, no, you can't marry her.
Oh.
He had already married her.
Oh, interesting.
Not because of her age, though.
Okay, why?
It's because they didn't want their Spanish officials and officers marrying people from the colonies.
Okay.
Because they didn't want the cross-pollination of politics.
Interesting. Okay.
Because they want them to stay loyal to Spain.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay,
at this point, like, America is...
They're like, some allegiances.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to keep your allegiance to Spain, not to your wife in America.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. He
So
was like, I guess I'll ask for forgiveness.
Right. Well, so what happens is Ramon is basically having to go back to Spain to try to save face.
Okay.
But he dies when his ship hits a sandbar near Cuba. And Maria's on the ship, but she was left in Havana.
Okay.
And the exact circumstances
Was she supposed to go with him? Why was she?
So eventually, so they do go to Spain together. So she's in Spain with Ramon for a while. He basically gets like a desk job, which was considered like a
Demotion?
punishment,
Okay.
a demotion. Yeah. And he blames Marie for that. Of course. Of course he would. A 35-year-old that marries a 13-year-old would blame her for getting a demotion.
Okay.
But they're coming back to America. And in 1804, his ship hits a sandbar after he drops Marie off, who was pregnant with his child,
Okay.
in Cuba. So in Havana, and the ship hits a sandbar. He dies in some weird, we don't really know the circumstances, but he does die. And so this leaves Marie a widow with a small child that is the name Marie Borja Delphine Lopez de Anglo, who is often called Borquita at 17.
Okay.
So just a little sidebar and some trivia about the
That's
names.
a lot of name. That was a whole lot of name.
That's a whole lot of name. Yeah. So just a little sidebar about the Delphine's children in the name Marie itself. So in French and Catholic naming traditions of the late 18th and 19th centuries, especially among elite families in Louisiana, I think in Roman Catholics, Marie was almost universally used as the first baptismal name for girls.
Oh, okay.
So what actually distinguishes each child from each other, because they're all Marie something, is their middle names.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's why sometimes I call her Delphine. Sometimes I say Marie Delphine, because they're all fucking named Marie.
Gotcha. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so it's like a baptismal thing.
All right.
And yeah, the naming conventions, it's something. So Borja was Ramon's first wife. They like named their daughter after his first wife, which is sweet. Delphine's obviously,
It is sweet.
yeah. And then Lopez de Anglo is, so I guess in like Spain at this time, it was basically a hyphenated version of your parents' name. So Lopez and Anglo were his parents' last names.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why this is a long last name. So just,
Sorry, the boys were Marie too?
No, the
Oh, okay.
boys were often like Louis or something.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But Marie, because she has mostly girls. That's why I'm bringing up
okay.
that specifically, because I'm going to tell you her kids' names and it's just like, Jesus, fuck.
Okay.
I like Googled it.
Bless you for trying.
Why are they all named Marie? What is happening? It's like George Foreman. Do you know that George Foreman's kids are all they fucking George?
What a weird thing to do.
It's so weird, and there's no like religious aspect behind it. They just like
That is so weird.
he has 9 kids and they're all named George.
I don't like that.
That's
at all.
rude.
It is fucking rude.
It's fucking rude. Anyways, okay.
Vengeance. Lots of Maries.
Lots of Maries. So just be aware. It gets a little confusing, especially with their kids' names.
Okay.
So after spending some time in Spain and Cuba, and then back in New Orleans, that is now an American colony because of the Louisiana Purchase. We should just give it back. And you guys can have it. Like we're not doing good over here. You just take it. It's like the Bible Belt and up, pretty much. Have it. Okay, so Delphine marries her second husband, a 43-year-old Jean Blanc, in 1808. And so she's 20 at this time, and he's 43. He's also a widower.
Okay. Sheesh.
I know, right? A lot of ladies dying, unfortunately. So Marie had also gained part of her mother's estate during this time after her mother died, right before she married Jean, which includes part of the indigo plantation her mother had, and also additional real estate, livestock, farming equipment, over 50 enslaved humans.
Okay, this bitch is rich.
Yes, this is wealth that we just like, this is nepotism. She's a nepo baby at its finest, right? So Jean also gets a dowry of $33,000 at this time, which is a little over $500,000 today, for his marriage with Delphine.
Okay.
So Delphine's father also gives the couple another plantation, a furnished home and a prominent street within the French Quarter,
Wow.
and about 25 more enslaved humans as a wedding gift.
Oh, jeez.
And the interesting thing about Jean is he was listed as a prominent banker, a merchant, a lawyer, a legislator, and an illegal slave trader. Because at this point, the slave trade is now illegal. So you can no longer take your ships over to Africa and capture people and bring them over.
Who determined that to be illegal? Do you know that?
I
I don't know enough about that.
I don't know. I used to. I took a couple AP history classes because once upon a time I wanted to be a history teacher.
Yeah.
I think the thing about slavery and it comes to the Americas is it was a very heavily debated topic for pretty much the entire time
That it was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that America existed.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a point where America just made it illegal to bring more people over
Okay.
because they're basically like, enough is enough. You don't need to keep kidnapping people from their homes right. It's really horrific, but it was a step in the direction of basically eventually abolishing slavery.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't remember what year that was. I don't remember.
But it started here because it was.
I think, well, France and Spain also.
So we're like,
Yes.
you
I
guys-
think they probably did it before we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So France and Spain had like also taking people off of their homeland off the table as well. I think they did before America did, but at this point,
Okay.
it is taken off the table almost entirely. And yeah, so Jean Blanc was
Still doing that
still
shit?
doing it, and it's like basically like an underground. It's it's like sex trafficking. It's human trafficking.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point, right? It's 100%. So he's like not a good guy. He's basically a crooked politician.
Yes. And I'm like, sorry, but that's too many jobs to be doing them correctly.
Right? He would
Do you
be
know what I
like
mean?
an entrepreneur now. Yeah.
It's
So
giving grifter.
it's giving grifter. It's giving a used car salesman. It's giving entrepreneur on Bumble.
Okay, I don't know enough about online dating to get that. It's a red flag.
It's a red flag, yeah. An
Gotcha.
entrepreneur on a dating app. You're like,
Like,
oh,
This,
yeah.
so you don't have a job, huh?
So you do crypto or something stupid.
Noted. Okay.
Yeah, just know that.
Just, I'll remember that.
Tick that box. Tick that box. You usually go look at them, right? Honestly. Okay, so she marries Jean Blanc. Jean Blanc is not a great guy. I would also argue that her first husband, Rome, is also not a great guy. She really knows how to pick him. But they get married and they have 4 children together. which includes a Marie Louise Pauline Blanc, a Marie
I
Louise.
like the name Pauline.
I know
That
Pauline is a cute name. Also, a Marie Louise LaLaurie Blanc, a Mary Louise Jean Blanc, and a Marie Borgia Blanc, which was actually named after her first daughter,
Oh,
which is really funny. She was like, I have so many kids now, I guess I'm just going to start naming them after each other.
that's so weird.
Also, you're like running out of names because Louise, Pauline, it's just so many of the same. But yeah, so she has 5 daughters at this point. So Jean Blanc dies in late 1815 and early 1816 at 50. And there's a little bit of a sidebar about Jean Blanc as well. He was part of the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812. He evidently recruited pirates to help fight for the Americas, and that's one of the reasons why we won the Battle of New Orleans
Okay.
in 1812. I can't remember the name of the pirate. It's one of the pirates that's mentioned in like the Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Okay.
That's all I can know.
Oh.
But so he's an interesting character. He definitely was a fucking scumbag.
Lafitte? Is that from?
Oh, it might be Lafitte.
It might be Lafitte.
It might be Lafitte. I think he like recruits Lafitte to help fight in the War of 1812 in the Battle of New Orleans,
Okay.
which the War of 1812 was against Britain. It was a draw at the end of the day.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
No one really won. Yeah, so Jean Blanc dies late 1815, early 1816 to 50, after approximately 8 years of marriage to Delphine. This is probably the closest like she has to like maybe a man that she actually loved. Like Ramon, way too fucking young.
Sure.
Her next husband is problematic in his own way, but we'll get to that. So a now 28-year-old Delphine inherited everything they had together, along with Jean Blanc's massive debt.
Okay.
And there is some rumors that Jean Blanc actually didn't die. He disappeared because he had like millions of dollars in debt during this era.
Jesus.
So he like picked up and scooted away. Yeah, he knew pirates. He probably could get out of the colonies or America pretty quickly.
Wow.
But
Not cool.
Not cool, bro. But yeah, he was a fucking scumbag and a grifter and like a crooked politician. So it tracks, right? However, during this time, there were laws established that would protect widows of prominent men from basically going into poverty after their husbands had died, which is more progressive than I expected.
Sure.
So she was able to separate her wealth from Jean Blanc's wealth.
Okay.
And she had to basically hand over or sell everything that he had, including the townhome that they had lived in
Okay.
in the French Quarter.
Oh, okay.
And some people say that, or some sources say that this townhouse was also on Royal Street, which is where the LaLaurie Mansion was. I don't know if that's correct, but it's somewhere within the French Quarter because he did work at a bank, and the bank was in the French Quarter, so they wanted to be close to his work.
Wow.
So she had to give up that townhome. She had to give up, I think, some other like plantation stuff, but she was able to like basically sell off all of his stuff, and I was able to keep her stuff.
Okay.
But she definitely wasn't doing as well now.
Okay.
Like
Damn.
she probably considered herself desolate or poor.
Sure.
In her standards,
Yeah,
but
okay.
let's be real, not in our standards.
Right.
During the time between her second and third husband, there's also records of 8 of Delphine's slaves dying. So there's 4 in the summer months and 4 in the winter. And to be clear, this is like house slaves.
Okay.
This isn't slaves working out on the plantation.
Okay. So, yeah, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And so we don't really have the causes or even like their names, unfortunately. But most of the slaves that died were women of childbearing age or children. Which
Okay.
is not good. And so then in 1824, Delphine's father dies, and her brother Luis splits the now inherited plantations, livestock, real estate, and equipment and enslaved people with Delphine. So that's kind of like what gets her out of quote unquote poverty.
Okay.
Is her dad passing away. So that's when we get into Marie's last husband, who she marries in 1826, who was a Leonard Louis Nicholas LaLaurie. And this is how she gets the Madame LaLaurie name. So Louise is younger than Delphine, I think by like at least 10 years.
Okay.
Like significantly younger. And some sources say that he's like a dentist, but most sources say that he's some sort of like very early era chiropractor.
Wow.
I wouldn't go to a chiropractor now. I'm not going to an 1800s chiropractor.
But what does that have to do with dental work?
I don't know.
They were doing all kinds of crazy shit back there with
and
their
like
medicine.
Yeah, and like maybe someone just like handwriting in those days was
Okay.
very weird and
Maybe
like
he
really
was
hard to
doing
read.
both.
Maybe he was doing both. He definitely isn't a good doctor,
Okay.
I will say. But he specified in, from what most sources say, that he specified in like helping people who have, I can't remember the name of it. It's people that have a hump on their back with a weird spine problems. And in the LaLaurie Mansion, he has a lot of equipment that was used to help people.
Okay. Right. All right.
With those problems. And it sounds like one of Marie's or Delphine's daughters had this problem.
Wow. What are the chances?
I know.
Maybe that's how she met him?
That is how she met him.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's one of the most agreed upon ways that she met him.
Got it.
Because he's not wealthy.
Okay.
He like recently came from France, immigrated over from France. He's like a middle class family from France. He went to medical school, but he's like new and upcoming in Louisiana, in New Orleans itself. But he's definitely not in the same social circles as Delphine was.
Okay.
Because she's elite class. She's like a Creole elite woman.
Yeah.
So it's probably that she met him while he was helping her daughter with her like hump on her back and her spine. But I will say it sounds like the treatment that he was implementing for this stuff is a step down from torture, or if not torture itself. Ooh. Like stretching tables, like just basically pushing the hump down, like pushing. Yeah, it's not good. So there is there's that equipment also in the home. And when they when they purchased the mansion, that is the infamous mansion, people often talked about hearing screams coming from that home. And so some people speculate that it was just his working on people and maybe the daughter. But there's also, we find out later that there's also some really horrific shit going on. So it's probably not just that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she marries him in 1826. But this marriage is not a good one. So her and Luis fight all the time, and he would often move out and then come back. Oh. But this is where we also see the famous home on 1140 Royal Street that would be purchased in 1831, which is the LaLaurie Mansion. So also during this time in 1828, Delphine was investigated for cruelty with her slaves.
Okay.
So authorities came into her home and found her slaves bloodied, emaciated, and just in very bad condition. And historians have not been able to find specific charges brought against her in this 1828 charge. So it seems like she got a lawyer, sold some of her slaves to family members who would then eventually give them back to her. Because that was one of the stipulations. If you were cruel to your slaves during this time,
keep them.
You had to sell them.
Okay.
But she found a loophole, right? And she basically paid a fine and everyone washed their hands of it.
They were like, okay.
Like, whatever.
All done here. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
But it's also crazy to me that there were so many people who were seeing what she was doing and reporting it. So it's a weird disconnect because you have empathy, but you also are enslaving other people.
Yeah.
But you have empathy for these people that you were enslaving to a point where you're like, oh, she's fucked up, right?
Yes, the cognitive dissonance here.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they buy the LaLaurie Mansion, which is at 1140 Royal Street in 1831. And this massive Federalist-style two-story townhome was filled with lavish furniture and art. It had parlors in the courtyard. It also had multiple slave quarters, along with an attic where unspeakable horrors would be discovered just a few years later. And maybe that is where we take a break.
Cliffhanger.
Well.
Are you interested in the
unknown,
unsolved,
unseen?
Then join us.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Sage.
Every Monday as we look into the world's most perplexing mysteries.
From the Getty of the Himalayas
to the UFO crash in Roswell.
To the haunted halls of Eastern State Penitentiary.
Or exploring the kidnappings of the Beaumont children.
We have something special for everyone.
Find Unknown, Unsolved, Unseen podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember,
to look for
the unknown,
the unsolved,
and the unseen.
Okay, so we are back. Let's get back into Delphine's actual treatment of her enslaved people, which is the hard part, FYI. Just know this is where shit gets dark. So we don't know if Delphine had always been cruel to the human beings she owned. There are actually 2 separate instances where Delphine voluntarily freed her slaves. One being a woman named Helene, who was her children's nurse and was a woman who had been under her confinement since Delphine's mother had her.
Okay.
So she eventually lets her go free.
Wow.
Delphine and Lewis also freed one of her shoemakers in 1832 to show the other enslaved people in her home that there is a possibility of being freed
Interesting.
if you do a good enough job.
Okay.
However, it has been recorded that Delphine would let her slaves travel to other properties to work for a wage, because remember,
Yeah, I was
they
legal
could
to
do
do
that.
there.
But then she would steal the wages that the slaves had earned when returning to the LaLaurie Mansion. And if the slave didn't make enough or came home late, they would be confined to a basement and they would be chained and starved for an amount of time set by Delphine.
She's like, work double time. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to steal your fucking money.
Oh my God. The way
This woman is cruel.
this bitch deserves to be lynched. Like,
Yes.
these are the people that deserve that treatment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disgusting.
It's truly disgusting. And she would also do like weird shit that like she'd make like standards that her slaves could never get to. And so she would then punish them.
so nasty.
It's like just weird, like
Just try to torture people
Yeah,
just for the
like,
hell
I'm
of
just
it.
gonna
Psychological torture.
yeah, right, exactly. It's fucked up and it's fucking weird. And there's something, this woman is like probably a sociopath or a psychopath.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with this person for sure.
A bitch is in hell.
Yeah. There was also points where she would be starving her slaves and her children would try to feed them.
No.
And then she would beat the slaves for taking food from her kids.
Oh my God.
So her poor kids were like, her kids were like, some of them are old enough. Like her oldest daughter at this point was like married and had children of her own. But some of the younger ones, they were like, this isn't okay. Like the fact that like those kids were able to like clock that this is bad.
Yeah, it's shocking even.
I know.
To be raised by somebody like that.
And like still have empathy, right? It just, her cruelty really just had no balance. She just was just cruelest to like the most vulnerable people.
Sick bitch.
So in 1832, Delphine was charged again for barbarous and cruel treatment of her slaves. But it seems like she was able to again just throw enough money at this problem to make it go away. And it's also because she was beautiful. She was like social elite. She just
Was untouchable.
untouchable, which is hard. Like when I was doing
Just
I
like
think
a
maybe that's
little-
why I'm having such a hard time
Yes.
with everything right
You're
now.
like, oh, shit has not changed.
You're like, wow, there are still people out here doing the most heinous, cruel shit, and there's
In
no
our faces,
blatant.
Yes.
No one is doing anything.
knowing that there are no repercussions
Yeah.
if you have money.
If you have money, if you have a certain status, it's fucked up. So a relative of Delphine was also so appalled by the disturbing sight of her slaves that they
Jesus.
reported her another time. But Delphine puts her hand on a Bible and swears that she is kind and caring towards her indentured servants and is believable enough that no one investigates the matter further. And it sounds like even the lawyer that talked to her was like so... She's kind of like that classic sociopath where she was able to charm this man so much that he was like, there's no way she would do any of the things that are being claimed against her. She like sold it and it was like charming and like,
Yeah, okay.
you know, and like that's part of it, right? I think it's like Ted Bundy.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right? It's just the charming sociopath.
Yeah.
But like it does happen with women too.
Yes, charm is a red flag, everybody. It is.
Get yourself a loser.
It's like if they are too charming.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
not
Eventually
normal.
the mask comes off. Right? And so one of the most well-recorded accounts of Delphine's cruelty is the story of a young enslaved girl from 8 to 10 years old named Leah. It's spelled Lia.
So pretty.
So the story goes that Leah was brushing Delphine's long dark hair and accidentally snagged a knot and pulled on her head. Delphine, in a rage, began chasing the girl and flogging her to the roof of the LaLaurie Mansion, where the girl either fell or was pushed or jumped to her death.
I'm jumping.
Right?
I'm done with this
Right.
shit.
So the Leah was then said to be buried in the courtyard of the home. So it's likely that the story of Leah did not actually happen.
Sure.
However, there are people that say that they see a ghost on the roof of a young girl. And there's also been accounts, because now the mansion's closed off to the public, but there's been accounts of people talking about going to the roof and feeling like really bad, like
Interesting.
dizzy, like want to vomit, like something, like there's bad energy up there.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that like something didn't happen up there, but it sounds like the specific story was never told or written down until after Delphine leaves New Orleans. And the stories about this, like about what happens, comes to light. It's hard with this one specifically, and no shade to other podcasts. I've listened to multiple podcasts about this, and they talk about this story specifically as it actually happening.
Okay.
But it's because stories were printed like right after this, like 1840, like accounts of this story specifically. Like a neighbor said that they saw this or witnessed this or something, but it sounds like it's not true.
Okay.
There's also the thing about the bodies in the courtyard. It sounds like that also isn't a thing for this story specifically, because there's a lot of accounts that said that there was a bunch of bodies buried in the courtyard. There is, however, a good number of her slaves that we don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
So we don't know. She was also really close to the Mississippi. This is fucking swamplands. There's crocodiles.
Jesus.
Or alligators, not crocodiles. Yeah. We don't know. Just giving you an idea of like how much lore there is around this and how quickly it happened. Actually, I literally write this in the next fucking bullet. So the reason why I bring this up, because I was highlighting the real horrors of what happened at the hand of LaLaurie without adding more mythos to the story. What we do know, it is recorded that 20 enslaved humans died under Delphine's captivity. And these were mostly women and children. And this is a very high number for this era in the area that they live in and the slaves where they worked.
Interesting.
So
Oh, God,
these
it
are-
must have been so scary.
These are like
to end up there.
I
Because you have
know.
no control. You're just like, oh no, they're sending me, or
to
I
this
was.
fucking devil.
Yes. And of course, like, I'm no doubt word has gotten around. Everyone knows that that's the bad place. Shit.
And like, I
What
always,
a nightmare.
it's hard to not think about this and think about American Horror Story Coven,
Yeah.
because Kathy Bates plays basically this character
Yes.
in Coven. She does a great fucking job.
Yeah. That's a great season.
It's the best season, I will say, to me personally.
Yeah.
When I say New Orleans, I say next to the house, not the LaLaurie Mansion, but the house that was the school,
Oh.
which is closed. It's like privately owned, and there's 2 people that live in that fucking massive house.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool to see it. Okay, so on the morning of Thursday, April 10th, 1834, flames are seen growing in the home of the LaLaurie Mansion, and it seems like a fire is coming from the kitchen quarters. Bystanders on Royal Street begin to try to help Delphine with the fire, and a judge that lives across the street mentions that she and her husband, so her husband is maybe there, it's maybe not. It's accounts are a little wishy-washy on
The
whether or
judge is
not.
a woman?
No, the judge is a man.
Oh, okay.
That Delphine and her husband need to make sure that her slaves are moved to safety.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that I wrote in here that her husband was there, but I feel like he maybe wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't there frequently. He would leave often because they would fight all the time. And
Oh,
there was
right.
a couple of times where like she petitioned for divorce, but they never really actually finalized it. It was like very tumultuous relationship. He was often not there. And I think that's the reason why there are so many accounts, or like why Madame LaLaurie became so infamous, is because it's probably her that did all this shit.
Sure.
So there's a judge, lives across the street, sees a fire. Delphine's outside. She's freaking out. He tells her, like, hey, like, we need to open the doors and we need to let your slaves out. And she says, no. She's like, you guys can't go in there. And it sounds like she's, like, really, like, willing to let everything burn down. To,
Yeah, so cover up her fucking crimes.
Exactly. And there are some sources that say that she tells people that her valuables, her art, her furniture, her jewelry need to be prioritized and not her slaves. But it sounds more likely that she was just willing to let it all burn,
Okay.
which is fucked, right? So the judge basically says, fuck you, and tells people to break down the doors. Because there's bystanders right now. He's like, break them down. We got to get people out, right? And from the smoke comes various slaves that are emaciated, covered in scars all over their bodies, chained up in various ways. And also in this group is an older enslaved woman between her 60s and 70s. And she said she started the fire because she wants people to go look in the attic.
Holy shit.
She like risked her life. There's some sources that say she was chained to the stove itself. It sounds like she was actually chained to the kitchen with a 25-foot chain.
Okay.
So she wasn't allowed to leave the kitchen because she was the cook.
Oh my God.
But she was able to get out of the house. But she tells people, like, you need to go to the attic and go look what's happening.
Oh my God.
So she started the fire.
A hero.
Right? And the fire's put out pretty quickly. It's not like a huge fire. So in the mansion, there had been an attic area that had been rumored to be a prison for some of Delphine's slaves, and it's locked. And it's a rumor because people constantly hear the screaming coming from this house, right? And I don't know if it's specifically Delphine and her husband that kind of cover up the screaming with the fact that he is a chiropractor and like he's using some really
Was that a cover story?
primitive methods to cover up the screaming.
Yeah.
But we also know he's not there frequently.
Interesting.
Yeah. So in the attic are 7 enslaved human beings, 4 women, 3 men, and 1 gender is unknown.
Okay.
Sorry, no. 4 women, 2 men, and 1 unknown gender. And they are found chained, hanging from their now stretched limbs, dislocated or torn from their sockets. Some are also bound in inhumane ways, and all of them were chained to the floor with metal collars that had spikes in them and made it impossible to relax their necks. So if they relax their necks,
It would be poking you.
yes.
somewhere. So you're not sleeping. You're sitting up. Oh my God.
So many of these people also had maggots and festering wounds, and all of them were extremely emaciated, only given enough food and water to endure more torture.
I cannot fathom. I'm sorry, I cannot relate to the way that room must have smelled. What are you getting out of this?
I don't know.
There is something wrong with you. Talk about festering wounds. It is your fucking soul.
Yeah. If you have one.
It is so bad.
It's so bad. It's not good. So there was at least one slave with a large hole in their skull where you could also see their brain tissue.
Oh my fucking God.
And this is also going to get way more dark. And this is the thing I
it's so
remember
bad.
from this story specifically that I probably will not be able to unremember ever in my life. So I'm going to tell you so you can also be in there with me. There are some sources that say that there was a stick in the
there?
hole.
Yes, I've heard this.
That they would basically stir around, which is one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard in my life. I can't.
It's an unfathomable evil.
It really is. It's like, this is Nazi level. This is Nazi level shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So in the attic, there was also a stepladder and a whip with dried blood, and the surviving enslaved people from the LaLaurie home would testify that each morning after breakfast, Delphine would go and lock herself in the attic and whip these people until she was tired out, and then would just go on her day like normal. It was like her workout. Like, that is what she did every morning. And so that's how we know that, like, it's basically her and not her husband.
Yeah.
Because some people talk. So there's a lot of other shit that have been made up about what happened to these people, or like how they were found. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to add more to the lore. But a lot of people said that because her husband was a doctor, that he was like experimenting on them, like Mangala style.
Okay.
And that definitely did happen to a lot of enslaved people during this era. But it doesn't seem like that's what happened here. It seems like it was pretty much all her doing all this shit. So these people who unfortunately seem to have lost their names to history are taken to the local hospital, which was maybe also the mayor's office. Like,
Weird times.
or I don't know. And they're treated. And then bystanders in the thousands are able to see these people because initially when the story is ran the next day in the paper, no one believes it after reading the horrors that were inflicted on these human beings. So basically, I think the sheriffs just opened up the doors, be like, come look at what you did.
Oh my God.
And people from New Orleans, from all walks of life, after seeing what she did, they descended on the LaLaurie Mansion and started ripping it down, brick by brick, hand by hand.
Good.
They just took out their anger on the home. So during all this commotion that happened with the fire, Delphine and Louis and their younger children fled New Orleans to France, unfortunately. So when people began calling for their arrest after the horrific discoveries that happened at 1140 Royal, they discovered that they were already gone.
Okay. She was like, I see the writing on the wall
Yeah,
here.
and I will tell you what happened. So while the fire was actively happening, one of Delphine's coachmen, who she also maybe had
A relationship with?
who was an enslaved human,
Sure.
suggested that she get into a coach and they get the hell out of Dodge. He's like, you got to go.
Okay.
He's seeing the writing on the wall. He's seeing the crowd. He's becoming a mob, right? So as a larger and larger mob is approaching the mansion looking for Delphine and Louis's heads, they watch as the LaLauries nonchalantly ride off to the Mississippi River, where a schooner is waiting that they catch, and they head over to Mandeville and stay with Delphine's niece while waiting for a ship to take them to France.
Okay.
And some sources say that they went to Mandeville and then went up to New York and then to France.
Okay.
I'll get into that, but
Yeah.
it's just, we really don't know what happens after, unfortunately. So Delphine also signs over the power of attorney of the estates to the spouses of two of her older children. So she's like, I'm not signing them off to my daughters because she doesn't want,
Oh,
I think it's something to do with the names
Okay.
specifically, because I think it'd be too obvious if she signed it over to her daughters and they probably just take it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if they could take it, but I think it definitely...
She didn't want them to be targeted.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's figure out how to keep the wealth in the family.
Right. She signs it over to basically their spouses. And, and that's on April 21st, 1834. And that's like the last known account
Okay.
that we have of Delphine, like the thing that she does. So what Delphine didn't do in this moment is admit any wrongdoing or free any of her slaves who had been at the LaLaurie Mansion, including the coachman who had seemingly saved her life. And like maybe it was her boyfriend. She like didn't free him. She didn't free anybody. Like clearly she doesn't care. But
She
it's just
does
like
not care.
It's like more fucked up. And she didn't free the coachman. Who some sources say that he was killed after he came back. Because people were pissed.
Sure.
They like saw the coach and they like basically they ripped the coach apart. They killed the horses and they maybe killed him.
My goodness.
Yeah. People were enraged.
The horses are like, bro, we had
I
nothing.
know.
We
Like,
really
why?
had nothing to do with this.
Why? Every fucking time. Like, you misdirected anger is something else, right? So a few days after everything was discovered in the LaLaurie Mansion, reports came out that bodies and bones of enslaved people were found buried in the courtyard. If this is historically factual, that's a bit of a mixed bag. So we do know, however, at least one of the people found in the attic do pass away from the torture they endured in that attic itself. So news spreads quickly in the colonies about this story, and the rumors and the additions and the elaborations to what happened spreads as well. That's where we get like the story about Leah. So this is one of the reasons why this story has so much lore. It's like instantly.
Yeah.
Like I think like days after, people just started elaborating and people started coming forward and saying that they
Sure.
saw this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like we talk about how
Big deal.
like, people are like, oh, true crime. It's so weird. Like it's so popular now. People have always been into this shit.
Yes, we are fascinated by human behavior.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens to Delphine and her husband after the initial escape has never been confirmed. Some people say that they did go to France, where she died in a boar hunting accident in a horrific way.
I hope the boar fucked her up.
I don't think this is unfortunately true, though.
That's too bad.
I think this is probably people wanting to, like...
The boar was like, I've heard about you, bitch.
Yeah, I think it's people, like, wanting to add, like, a bit of an Inglourious Bastards ending.
Tarantino could make a fucking movie
I know.
about this. The thing
I
is,
know.
it's not a movie that anyone wants to see. It's bad.
Yeah. We got Django, which is close.
You're right. However mild compared to the shit that you just have said.
I know.
on the air.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
So others believe that she actually never left Louisiana, but instead lived out the rest of her days as the name Widow Blanc.
It's not different enough.
Yeah, and she was living close to two of her daughters. So others have claimed that she actually fled to New York until she was recognized and then fled to Europe after that.
Okay, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It could also be a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, she could have just
Bounced around.
bebopped around, right? It does seem like a good portion of Delphine's family moved to Paris, and they continue to live a lavish lifestyle over there. And her husband does eventually end up in Havana after leaving Delphine, and he dies in 1863 and is buried in Havana. So he does eventually leave her. And he kind of like seems to die in obscurity,
Okay.
which seems appropriate.
Sure.
So it does seem like the son-in-law that Delphine left her money in estate to stopped sending her money at some point.
Okay.
He basically was like, I'm not going to be.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Honestly, kind of deserved, right? Like, it's fucked up, but it's also like, you deserve it.
I'm sure they're all a bunch of fucking monsters anyway.
Right. So there's a lot of correspondence about her getting paid. There's a lot of letters going back and forth being like, hey, where the fuck is my money? So what we don't have is any correspondence or ownership from Delphine about what happened on Royal Street. She never like talks about it after. Of course not, right? Yeah. So from what can be confirmed, it looks like Delphine dies around 1849 of natural causes at the age of 69. Giggity.
I don't like that.
Sorry.
I don't like that.
I know. So there has been some speculation that she was buried in the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 in New Orleans, which is a very prestigious cemetery to be buried in, because there's a copper plaque that says Madame Delphine McCarty LaLaurie died in Paris December 7th, 1849. So there's a plaque there. But it seems like it's maybe just a plaque to confirm she dies in New Orleans.
Okay.
But some people say she's buried in Paris in another cemetery, I forgot the name of it. But there are rumors that her body was exhumed and reburied, because it also sounds like one of her son-in-laws bought a huge tomb in New Orleans in Cemetery No. 1, and no one's really buried in it. Or at least no one that we know of is buried in it.
Interesting.
Like, it sounds like he was buried in it, and there's no other names listed with the tomb.
Okay.
Or monastery. Not monastery. Monolith? What are the things called? The tomb things, the stone. Is it a monastery? Monolith?
No,
something?
a monolith is just like a giant rock, I think.
Okay.
An ancient.
A monastery
Man-made,
is a church, right?
Yes. What word are you
It's right on the tip of our goddamn tongues. Should I Google it?
Yeah.
Now it's gonna bug me. Okay. What? Let me edit this out.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum. Thank you. Good. Look at you. You beat Google.
It will come.
Good job, Meg. You beat Google. Snaps to you, bitch. So there's a mausoleum. There's only one or two names associated with it, but it's a big mausoleum. So people are wondering if she's in there.
Okay.
But we don't really know where she is.
It's so weird to be like, I don't know. Who gives a fuck where? It's weird that
Right?
her family would care.
She probably cared a lot.
I'm sure she cared.
Yeah. Just, you know what? If I
She
die,
might have guilted everybody. It was just like, fuck, we'll just do whatever. And she's the type of gnarly bitch that like, was like, I know they hate me and I want to be there anyway.
Oh, she definitely was like the type of grandmother that would guilt her children
Yeah.
and her grandchildren for not writing often.
Definitely.
Or, yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's like, just to spite the people of New Orleans, I'm going to make sure that my...
body's there. Yeah. Yeah, because she probably didn't think she did anything wrong.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
is my right.
So in March of 1837, Pierre Tastor purchased what was left of the mansion. It's basically like walls, because
Yeah.
they fucking fucked that shit. They didn't loot it. They just ripped everything apart after.
That's good. That is heartwarming.
Right?
That.
And he resells it to a Charles Coffin. And he rebuilt the mansion to the condition that's currently today. He adds like another floor. It originally was only 2 stories. Now it's 3. And it also seems like instantly after the fire, the home was noted as being very haunted and cursed as itself. People would often talk about like hearing screams and stuff and chains dragging.
Interesting.
Like right after. Which I gotta say, if anything's haunted, it's a place like this.
Okay,
It's a
sure.
place where some real bad shit happened, and there's probably an imprint.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah, I was
on
thinking
the
the same. I was
area.
like, an imprint.
Yeah.
So, like, I just don't like the idea of,
Them still being stuck there.
having to be trapped
Yeah.
in a
There are
horrific place
some
like that.
people that speculate, because it's really, this house hasn't been like explored in like a ghosty way. There is no Ghost Adventures segment of this, just
I'm so
FYI.
sorry. My condolences.
Evidently Jack Osborne got an okay to go in.
Okay.
He had a ghost hunting show. I didn't watch it.
Oh,
But
okay, Jack.
he was able to get in there, and he was only given like limited access though.
Okay.
They seem very cagey about it
Sure.
until a certain person. I'll get to him. But
know which person you're talking about?
no.
Oh, okay.
No ZB for this episode. Zach Bagans.
Oh, okay. ZB. I thought you said nosy B, like NOSEYB. I was like, who's a nosy B?
Who's a nosy B? Oh my goodness. No ZB. No Zach Bagans.
Thank God.
This is a Zach Bagans free
No,
episode.
but it is a, what's his name?
Jack Osborne?
No. Never, I had it. I lost it.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
They'll probably come back in a really weird moment. Okay, so the home is initially being very haunted and cursed. And there are some people that speculate that maybe Delphine is still there and that she's being tortured by the
Hopefully.
ghosts of her former enslaved people, which is, if they're still there, I hope it's like that.
Exactly.
Right. So
They're better than that, though.
I would hope so.
They got better things going on.
Right. Like they're
Like
off.
their next life.
Yeah, they're out of here, right?
Absolutely.
So the mansion started out as a boys' school by Charles Coffin, but soon failed, and then a music teacher owned it and sold it quickly after. And then the tobacco merchant tried to use it as a business, but also failed quickly. It also becomes like a furniture store. The New Orleans Conservatory of Music used the mansion as a concert hall, which would be cool shit.
Sure.
But that was actually successful for a while, but it does eventually go under. It's like it changes hands a lot.
The vibes are not good.
The vibes are not good, I think. Yeah. But in the 1900s, an Italian immigrant named Fortunato Greco purchased the mansion and noticed that the crowds would often stop by and gawk at the mansion itself. And at this point, there had been like books written about it.
Okay.
Books written about like the haunted mansion, right? And so he learns a history and he starts allowing admittance into the mansion for a 10-cent fee to basically be like, hey, want to give yourself a ghost tour? Go for it. Give me a dime.
Might as well capitalize on it.
Right?
People
Yeah.
are out there.
Yeah, he like leaned into it. And he actually gets pretty wealthy doing this. So good for him, right? I would lean into it 100%. And he leans into it harder. So the top 2 stories were turned into apartments, but the lower part of the home is turned into a bar between 1895 and 1905 called the Haunted Exchange.
How interesting.
I would love to go to this bar. I know it's not there anymore. Unfortunately. Like, this is my type of bar. The Haunted Exchange in a haunted fucking place.
Wow.
Right? And
How many years later was this?
this was in 1895.
Okay.
60-ish
Yeah.
years. Yeah. So the Haunted Exchange does very well for itself for a while. And during this time, people would talk about hearing screams throughout the home in all hours of the day. People would also be scratched. And there was also claims of seeing figures walking through the halls and in the bar itself. And some people would also say that they would hear chains rattling constantly. So everyone's like, this is
strange.
weird. Yeah. And so this is also the point where it also becomes tenant housing for like
Okay.
low income people. I think specifically like Italian immigrants.
Okay.
So this home also gets a little fucked up during this era.
Sure.
Unfortunately. But the home changes frequently over time after this. It becomes a school. It becomes housing, like apartments. It becomes shelters. It becomes a warehouse. It becomes a furniture store, like I said. It just becomes like multiple things. And it's never in the same hands long. And every person who owns the home has people tell them of the ghosts they see and the stuff they experience. Everyone's like, this place is fucking haunted.
Weird.
And even, I guess, during like when it was a furniture store, there was occurrences of, this could just be a human thing, but they would come into the furniture store in the morning and there'd be like poop and pee and blood all over
Weird.
like furniture.
Holy shit.
And they had to get like a guard with a shotgun and still would happen.
No.
Yeah.
That is unimaginable.
It's so fucking gross.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The physics of that. What is that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's
I'm like, was she
gnarly.
doing? I was like, it doesn't sound like she was even like putting a witchy spin on it.
No.
She
no.
was just.
That's Maria Laveau territory.
Yeah.
Which we'll eventually do an episode on too.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only person to have never claimed to have any sort of like ghostly experiences in the home was a radiologist who bought the home in the late 1960s. And he renovates the home to its former glory until the 1980s. He spends a long time.
Well, it seems like there would have been a lot. Of,
yeah, he takes a long time renovating this place.
The blueprints must be complicated.
Yeah. So he tries to sell it for $1.9 million in the 80s. And he isn't able to sell the home until the year 2000.
Yes.
Yeah, takes
Okay.
a long fucking time.
Jesus.
And this guy, the radiologist who like spent like a long time in like with this house, he's actually killed in the French Quarter in 2005 in a very violent way.
Oh.
It's like after the Sugar Bowl, and he basically threw a mint at one of the opposing team's like fans, and they like fucking followed him and beat him to death in the French Quarter.
Oh my goodness.
It's,
Whoa.
yeah, and it just seems like people are constantly getting fucked over with this place.
Interesting.
Yeah. People also on the outside of the home state that they see figures in the windows and hear screams. During the decades, the mansion wasn't occupied with tenants itself. So they would say that they would see people walking And they would see people on the roof, and it always seemed like there was like bad juju, right? And then in April of 2007, Nicolas Cage.
I was gonna say that's the word, the name I forgot, and then it came to me.
Yeah.
I was like, Nick Cage owns it, right?
Yeah. So Nick Cage purchased a home for $3.45 million, but it was foreclosed on and went to auction in November 2009.
Oh,
And it seems like he bought it because he wanted to move into it to write the great American horror novel.
got it.
Which, if you're gonna write a horror novel, this seems like a great place to be.
Interesting.
But he never sleeps there.
Okay.
He says that he doesn't know if the house is haunted, but he also would never sleep in the home.
Interesting. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to risk it.
He's like, I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah. But evidently, yeah. So he has like a shady manager during this time. He also gets really fucked over in the stock market crash that happens during this era. So he loses the home. And people talk about how this curses his career, right? But I will say, during this era, he does the second National Treasure movie,
Oh, interesting.
which is a very popular movie. He also does The Wicker Man, which The Wicker Man's a terrible fucking movie. So mixed bag, perhaps.
This is what we love about Nick Cage, because it does have, he does all kinds of
He's
things.
a multitude.
The man will go to work.
He will. He will absolutely
and
go
needs
to,
to, apparently.
Yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, he unfortunately loses the home in November 2009. So it gets sold to auction. So the mansion itself is now under private ownership. I didn't put the person's name because they're very much not online. They seem like they don't really want to be involved, but
Interesting.
they have lived in the house probably for the last 20 years. I think it was resold recently in 2024.
Oh, okay.
I meant to look up the real estate listing to see if I could find it because I want to see the inside.
Yeah.
But I didn't have time.
Sure.
But this house, no matter what, is still like a pivotal part of the haunted history of New
Yeah,
Orleans itself,
absolutely.
right? And this is what it looks like today. Have you been there, or have you seen it
I
in person?
don't know if we. I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
it looks like a
we've-
fortress. It's very
Yeah.
like looming.
Yeah, it's just square, and it's like the corner of the building. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like you'd imagine it to look. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's something that it originally looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's another story added, but it's the same place, right? So the LaLaurie Mansion is often remembered for its hauntings and the legends that grew around it. But those stories are a distraction from the truth. There is nothing mysterious about the real horror that took place inside these walls. The true terror was not a curse or a ghost, but a system of slavery that treated human beings as property and allowed extreme cruelty to be carried out openly by members of the most elite levels of society. The legacy of the LaLaurie Mansion is not a paranormal one, but a reminder of the brutal, sanctioned chapter of American history that is often too minimized, overlooked, or actively erased. We're seeing that right now, unfortunately. The real horror lies in the fact that this suffering was real, inflicted on real people whose names, endurance, and lives have largely been lost to history. So if you ever find yourself standing at 1140 Royal Street in the French Quarter, don't look for a ghost story. Acknowledge the true horror that happened there and the system that made it possible. And
Absolutely.
and that is the LaLaurie Mansion.
She's a cunt, man. Fuck her.
She's a cunt. She's a bitch. Not in a good way.
I do
She's
not like
She's
it.
not serving cunt.
She is not.
No, she is a cunt.
It is bad.
Right.
Bad. Don't like her one bit.
lady.
She gets a garbage bell.
I don't know if I would call that a garbage bell, but I appreciate it. You know what? No, it's a garbage bell.
She gets the garbage bell.
Garbage. You garbage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Off with her head.
fucking like.
Yeah.
I think if she would have stayed in New Orleans, they probably would have fucking killed her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's too bad they didn't.
I know. It's too bad she didn't just get ripped apart. Mm-hmm. Which maybe.
I believe that somewhere she did and is.
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about, because I subscribe to this idea that you enter this consciousness knowing
Oh, you've
you've signed up for it, basically.
Right. Yeah,
like
we have
you're
talked
sold
about
it.
this. Yeah.
And I'm like, what about shit like that?
Yeah. Right.
Like that might be an exception.
yeah.
I think like the people who suffer probably have seen, but I'm like, what? There might just be some malevolent fucking shit out there.
some really, really dark things.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
the world.
It's
like
just so bad.
it's so bad. Yeah, it's
That
just like
I can't. Yeah, I just can't. That doesn't fit in my
your ideas.
paradigm.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how does that work? I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that either. Yeah, because like that's just truly fucking evil,
Yeah, it
and
is.
it's just it's rough.
It is.
Like I said, it was rough to research because I was like, wow. I'm like,
yeah.
tigers are not changing their stripes.
Yeah.
We're still watching people just walk around and not having justice served, and maybe eventually, but fuck, man. But yay, haunted New Orleans.
Oh, you did it. Check.
Right?
First visit to
I know. I
NOLA.
can't believe that was our first New Orleans episode.
Which episode? This is 90.
This is 94.
4.
Yeah, 94.
Thank you.
We're getting up to the hundreds.
It was a very fascinating episode.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Well
good,
done.
Good topic.
I learned some things.
Yeah, there's a lot of exchanges happening between Spain and France.
Had
and
no
America.
idea.
Yeah.
I probably had learned at one point, but that did not
Yeah,
stick.
right, totally. And it makes sense when you go to New Orleans now. You see the influences.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I love New Orleans so much is because it really has held on to that
Yeah,
stuff. And
it
I think
is
it's
true.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should definitely go back.
We should.
Maybe we should go back for Halloween.
Okay, no. You know what? Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Alrighty.
It probably wouldn't be like humid.
No, I don't know. I know it gets, I think November is when like storm season starts. So October is
Maybe too early
hopefully
or too late.
too early. November through like February, I think is like hurricane season.
I thought hurricane season was like September.
I do not know.
Okay, we'll have to look it up.
I have no idea.
We'll look it up and we'll get back to you guys.
I'm
okay?
not from there.
I am not from there either. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
for listening to the horrific
To the
story
horrors.
of Delphine.
Yeah, we don't like her.
May she rot in hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sayonara, bitch.
Right? But make sure to rate, review,
better.
subscribe. If you can write a review, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Just write us a little review. Tell us what you think.
Could be nice to read it.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm interested.
Maybe not bad.
I honestly might get a kick out of it regardless.
If you like roast us, laugh. That would be funny. I want like a drag level fucking reading down. Hell yeah. Fucking
The audacity of these two fucking idiots.
the library is open. Go for it. How about that? Yeah. If you can read me in a way that's really funny, I would definitely be there for it. But yeah, if you're
welcome
not gonna
to
be
it.
a dick. don't be-
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. And until next time.
Go Hawks. First of all, and sorry.
Yeah.
Stay grimly curious.
Sure.
Thank you so much for listening. Music by Alex Kingston and Adam McKinnon.
For podcast photos and updates, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Grimly Podcast.
Be sure to rate and review, and we will see you next week for another episode. Bye, bitch.